Welcome to Deep Thought. Politics is simply a tool for those who want power. This is a very important thing to understand. A very important thing to understand. I'm going to tell you what. A lot of people get caught up into different political stances and everything, but if you really look at it, what are they really supporting? And what do politicians really do? Because think about something, regardless of the party they're in or, what they claim to stand for, what they are actually looking for is power. And let me give an example. Okay, you had the recent leak of the Roe v. Wade, decision. Okay, you have that, and you have plenty of politicians say, oh yeah, we're pro-life and everything. Pro-life. But yet, as of the recording of this podcast, we just had the shooting in Texas. We had the school shooting in Texas. We also had the prior weeks before, we had the Buffalo shooting. And I'm like, but the same politicians who are saying pro-life, we have to save these lives, have been mysteriously silent on situations that took multiple lives. I want you to think about that for a second. Because indeed, and I'll just put it out there, I don't usually get political, but a lot of these politicians who yeah, we're pro-life and everything, we got to stop this, could care less. If it was a female politician, they got an unwanted pregnancy, they'll just go someplace and get it terminated, even if they have to travel out the country. And if the mistress of one of these politicians has an unwanted, gets a pregnancy, the politician be like, okay, I'm going to send you here. Here's some money. But they ain't thinking about all that. They are thinking about the supporters, the votes, the attention, and everything. Let me share something about me. Now, a lot of people have wanted me to talk more about politics and stuff, but I don't. And trust me, I have intimate experience with people on both sides of the political aisle, third-party people. I remember back in the day, I supported this one third-party politician. Even went to the meeting after the election. He didn't win. And I was just sitting there looking at everybody. I said, "This is about power." Yeah, I've known, at least had conversations with, you can call them activists, politicians, whoever, on both sides of the aisle, even far left and far right, and everything. I've, been around some black nationalists, hardcore black nationalists. And like I said, I've had conversations with some white nationalists. It's about power. It's about power. It's a tool. It's a way to get power. It's the way to get influence. Indeed, with social media now, you get some people who might have been needed to be politicians or activists, ministers, something in a past, decades ago. Shoot, they just need a good social media account, because that's the ultimate thing. How much can they control? How much money can they get from that control? That's all it is. In fact, it's not even about the money sometimes. You have some individuals out there who, they might not be taking a penny, but they have influence. They got power. It's like a cult leader. If you think about it, what does a cult leader really do? They use some type of spiritual system. They either, bend the tenets of the system to their personal need, or, they'll create something new. But what they doing it for? Power. Like a lot of cult leaders, what they doing? They got influence over people. They getting money, and they getting sex. And like I said, it's both sides of the aisle. It's both sides. It's on the spectrum. I bet people don't know. That's why I don't get into politics a lot on these channels or just activism or stuff like that. I stay real quiet because I know ultimately a lot of it's just some bullshit. It's just somebody they using a particular vehicle to get some power, get some influence. And look, I'm gonna be raw. One time I said, yeah, like many of these men, many of them, you might have an exception, a genuine person here and there. I'm still waiting to meet one, but it's about what they want. It's about look, money and pussy. Let's just be real about it, especially with some men. Now, well, I've met some genuine activists. I have. I take that back. They hard though. You got to work real hard though. But yeah, and even a lot. You look at anybody. I can call some names if you really look at it. It's like, they either getting money out this or pussy or both, or influence. Because usually the influence is usually for their own needs. If you were to put all these politicians, all the members of Congress, senators, congressmen, everything under a lie detector, it's like, do you really believe the shit that you support? And most of them will say no. And the ones who say yes, that lie detector is going to go off like crazy. But what's the one thing they're getting from it? Power. And it's simply a tool. It's simply a way. It's simply a way to get something done. It's like, hey, this is the vehicle right now. Like I said, nowadays people, if they got a good social media stand or something like that, they still got influence. Particularly the men. The women too. Money and dick. It's like, and I ain't saying this to be cynical, but one of the things is really, really dig below the surface. Let me use that political example again. I lived and worked in D.C. I could call some names of some politicians I know more about what they do. In fact, where you get all this public talk between, antagonism between the Republicans and the Democrats. On Capitol Hill, most of them work together behind closed doors. They're two wings of the same party. But what is it they want? Power. Even if they're doing questionable stuff, it's about power. And supporting causes that, it's interesting. You have some of these politicians, saying they're doing something for the people, but the overwhelming majority of them won't hang out with the people and won't want the people anywhere near their homes. I want y'all to think about that. But they get team the power. I want y'all to think about that. It's simply a tool. So anyway, that's all I have for today. I want y'all to think on what I'm saying. Peace and blessings.